The series is tied 2-2. It's a best of three from here on out. Both teams have won at home. Both teams have won on the road. The margin for errors incredibly slim at this point. Thank you, Pat. And it's Friday night, people, and where else would you rather be than Greta Bar Yeg downtown? For Pat, pull it up on the screen for me right now, baby. We're pre-gaming at Greta, and it is Bordzy's Ballin' Bar Takeover. Tyler, I have realized my dreams. Well, I should say maybe not 14-year-old Aaron. 18-year-old Aaron is living his dream now as he has his name all over this bar tonight, and we have a lot of fun stuff planned. I'm going to be burning bills. We're giving out Greta gift cards. We're giving out ON gift cards, Greta merch, ON merch, prepaid Pink Whitney shots. You know it, buddy. Greta is the place to be this evening. They're on the road. The fan park tent is now, I believe, it's being closed. So you want to stay indoors, you want to stay warm, you get your ass down here to Greta. But hello and welcome to Pregaming with Bordsy, presented by Sherwood Ford the Giant for a reason. Subscribe to the ON YouTube, get in the chat, throw down your like. I'm your host, Aaron Bordato, and I'm joined by the man, Tyler Yaremchuk. Ty, you were out at the Logan Hunter Memorial Golf Tournament today. Probably not the best weather you could have asked for, but Friday, you spend it golfing, brother. No better way to spend the workday. How'd you shoot, and how was the event overall?
It was not Logan Hunter. That one's coming up at the quarry in July. Today was the Treasure Life tournament in support of pediatric heart research. So it was a lot of fun. Our guy, Christopher Palmer, is super involved in it, so I was happy to be out and supporting the cause. It is a great cause. We heard some some really touching stories and stories of perseverance. So it was good. The wind, honestly, was terrible. It felt like, it's almost like a sunburn, right? A wind burn, I guess what they call it. It stunk, but the golf was still fun. The tournament was still great, and we shot 10 under. So five strokes away from winning. It wasn't our best effort.
That's still pretty good as a group. Yep, I saw Palmer's in here right now. Said shouts out to Ty, Chalmers, Spencer, and Jay. Wreck-It makes a very good point. Tyler must have hit well, looking much more sober than I would after a few holes. It's really around hole 5 or 6. I know if I have my game and whether I'm making this a fun round or I'm actually going to try and compete and play my kind of golf. But Ty, Friday night, baby. We're down at Greta. I believe you got a little slow pitch game or ball game going on tonight. And I said to you, if you install a TV on the back of your truck and hotspot that for the broadcast of the game, that's bleeding blue and orange. That's being a teammate for your squad. What are you doing this evening?
Well, okay, so here's the problem is me and all my boys and our girlfriends, we play in a co-ed softball league. There's a game tonight that's going to be like kind of right during the second period of the Oilers game. And we're like, damn it. Like, we shouldn't be those people who bail and then you get fined. And it's like, so we decided, or I kind of came up with the idea. I went and got a generator. I have a trolley, like a whatever. So I have generator, TV on top of that on the trolley. And we're just going to start in the parking lot because it's 6:30 puck drop. 7:30 game, and then when it's time for our turn on the diamond for the ball tournament, we're just gonna wheel the thing into our dugout and keep the TV on in our dugout, and I'll hotspot to my laptop, HDMI to the TV, bing bang boom. I'm gonna watch the entire game and just go. I'll DH tonight. I'll take a couple ABs and whatever.
Clap it up for Tyler. That is absolutely incredible. That's dedication, as I said, to your team and your real team, the Edmonton Oilers, the ones in orange and blue. You see Mr. Burns. It's good to be at Greta tonight. I just saw Burnsy over there. She's filling in right now. I got booths reserved. It's Bordzy's Ball and Takeover. So, of course, I got the whole Bordsy clan coming out here. I got my 2 brothers, and I got my mother. So, hey, come on down. If you want to buy them drinks, the Bordsy bros know how to hang as much as this bro right here. But, all right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the last game because Game 4 kind of the complete opposite of Game 3, if you will. They completely flipped the script in that one. The Oilers allowed the first 2 goals against, but somebody in our pre-gaming chat pointed out and said, hey, you ever think about just letting them score first and see what happens there? It's kind of worked that way so far in this series. They were down 2-0, just over 5 minutes into it. The shots were 5-0. Darnell Nurse had the spotlight on him. He's a quick dash too, even though I'm not going to put either one of those goals on him. And then the McLeod-Perry line goes out for a shift right around the 12-minute mark. They get a good forecheck, they get a good cycle, and you can feel the tide turning. The building starts to wake up, quickly followed by a TV timeout, reset from head coach Chris Knobloch, and then boom, 5 unanswered goals. You get solid goaltending from Stuart Skinner, who shut the door on the next, I believe it was 18 consecutive shots and tie. This just shows in this series, there is no such thing as a safe lead. You could be up 8 goals. I don't give a shit. You got to play defense. You got to keep the pedal to the metal. We've seen 2-0 leads blown 3 times in 4 games in this series. Holding on to any lead or any momentum, whether you want it to be from game to game, period to period, you just do not know what you're going to get. And dude, this is some pretty good Final Four hockey going on right now.
Yeah, it is really good. Like what's happening out east is electric in this Oilers Star series. What it's lacked in animosity, hatred, some sort of a rivalry, if you will, it's made up for in just the sheer drama and electricity of it all. Game 1, double overtime. Insane to even think that we somehow managed to make it through that. Game 2, tight, 1-goal hockey game, right? Game 3, obviously the blown lead that doesn't go the Oilers' way. And then game 4, like I went back, and again, when I was in the barn, and sometimes when you're at the game, they score and you're so busy going nuts that you don't like fully comprehend how bananas the arena is. And I saw the Pat McAfee show posted a clip of the Draisaitl goal, and it was like Edmonton is buzzing right now. And I watched that back and I'm like, holy shit, was it ever buzzing? Like that'll go down as a vintage Oilers playoff win. That'll go down as Wanye's been saying, the biggest win since 2006. And it really was that because it breathed new life into this series.
Makes it a best of 3. You mentioned it. Both series right now, East and West, going to be best of 3s. Florida takes that 3-2 lead. But, dude, that was not a game for the faint of heart. You've seen the Apple Watches all over Twitter and social media saying, hey, sit down. And tonight, I expect more of the same. I might just take my watch off tonight, Pat, and just throw it down to the side because I'm tired of being notified by it. I'm not going to do anything about it, okay, Apple? But one of the big storylines, and there were several, coming into the last game was not just some small lineup changes, but several. There was 3 guys out, 3 guys come in, and we'll start with the forwards because, Ty, I mentioned you in the last one. I love when you get the late breaking news of the lineup and you get to react straight up. I watched my reaction back when I saw McLeod on the wing with Corey Perry, and my jaw just slowly started to drop and more because I totally understood. You bring Ryan McLeod back in the lineup. You knew he was going to do that. Nobby said he was going to not be out for a long time. I love the move to put him on the wing with Leon Draisaitl, a spot he's been proven can produce all season long, and we both know I think he's better as a winger. I like the idea of that because you're going to bring some speed to Leon. You know Leon plays well with speed. Then I looked at the other side of that trio, and I went, if you're going for speed on that line, why are you putting the human dead weight, the man who keeps lead in his socks, Corey Perry, out there? But I got to say, dude, boy, was I wrong because those 3 were, I think, in my opinion, without a doubt, the best line in that game 4 it was. They turned the tide, momentum. You saw Perry. Well, McLeod gets a goal from in front of the net, which have you ever seen that one in a very long time? Kind of felt like Perry was dragging him into the fight a little bit, but even more so for Corey Perry. He was making great defensive plays, man. He had back checks. He saved one going on a guy's stick in the dead slot, gives a nice stick lift, and Ryan McLeod, you know, his offense hasn't been there, but his defense, you cannot argue with that. Perry and McLeod each get their first points of these NHL playoffs, and I know it's just one game, but I loved what I saw from those 3. And going into tonight, we're hearing there's not going to be any lineup changes, well, with the top 6 at least, and they're going to roll with those guys. So what'd you think about that trio in Game 4, and did they have it in them again?
The second part of that is interesting. The first part, what did I think about them? I loved it. I thought it was absolutely insane from Chris Knobloch to take 2 guys who've been healthy scratching and put them next to the guy who's been your best player. It's like, why would you mess with Leon Draisaitl right now? He's playing some of the best hockey of his career, but let me give you the numbers as I like to do. 11-10 at 5v5. Shot attempts, 12-5. Shots on goal, 6-1. And this is all despite the fact that they only started 55% of their shifts in the offensive zone. Now, you might be thinking 55%, that's still pretty high. The McDavid line started 80% of their shifts in the offensive zone, and their numbers were not as good as that Draisaitl line. So that Draisaitl line was used in way more defensive zone faceoffs than that top line. They were kind of relied on to get the Oilers out of some jams, and they did that. and they pushed play the other way. And despite having Corey Perry there and his limited mobility, they found a way to attack off the rush. Ryan McLeod's goal was a net front goal, but that chance happens because of how effective that line moved up the ice and out of their own zone. So all of it was really, really impressive. Can it be sustained? I'm holding my breath, man, because here's the beauty about the playoffs and being where you are. You don't need them for 6 straight good hockey games. You don't need them to be aligned for the next 2 months. You need them to be good for 2 more games, 6 more periods. And can they do that? Why the hell not?
I agree, and we saw enough from there. And there's also just a motivation factor. I said the phrase, hungry dog runs faster. Well, both of those guys were frothing at the mouth to get back in the lineup, and they looked that way as well. Ty, I also made a promise to the fans that I'm not going to doubt a single other Chris Knoblauch move for the rest of these playoffs here and here out. The dude's basically batting 1,000 with every move he's made, whether it's Skinner, Pickard, splitting up 97-29, bringing Holloway up, bringing Holloway down, McLeod out, McLeod in, Perry out, Perry in. Doesn't matter. This guy just shits out good decisions. And a point, I believe, is shout out to Brad Bay. He DM'd me. I'm curious what you think about this. You know me, big basketball guy, big Raptors guy. There is a number of similarities between rookie head coach Chris Knoblauch and rookie head coach Nick Nurse in 2019 for the Toronto Raptors championship run. They're both kind of young guys, too. There's just been a lot of similarities. I could bore you with the numbers, but I know people don't care about basketball, especially on this show. One move that you could think Nobby might make. So I'm curious to ask you this, because as the more the game moved along in the last one, we did see Dylan Holloway get some shifts up with one Leon Draisaitl and Ryan McLeod. He found himself up there. Would you consider doing that tonight? My opinion today, we said on ONE, I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, even though you might tinker with the bottom 6 and Derek Ryan and Sam Carrick. But I liked what I saw from that line, and I would start with them. And then you have the ability to kind of swap Holloway and Perry up there. If maybe the game leads more run and gun up and down the ice, you need the skill. Hey, you can throw Dylan Holloway up. Perry maybe moves down in a spot. But if it's more of a cycle game, grind it out down low physicality, I want Perry up there. Where do you come out on that? And would you consider flip-flopping them throughout? Because we've seen that in this series.
Yeah, we have. I'm not going to consider it out of the jump. Like, again, if things are going bad, if you're knock on wood, and I do have the legs of my table here, if you're down 2-0 halfway through the game and you're not getting shit going, then yeah, let's throw some more speed up with Leon Draisaitl. See if you can overwhelm this Stars team a little bit. We know they're basically running, or they were running 5 defensemen, and now they might be running 4.5 defensemen. We'll get to Tanv in a little bit here, but if you think halfway through the game, let's load up some speed and wear down those 4.5 defensemen, then sure, if you need to do it, do it. And I trust that Knoblauch will make that read and make that adjustment. But off the jump again, it ain't broke, don't fix it. Corey Perry on the cycle game, that's totally fine by me. And here's the other thing. It's not like you have Holloway down on the third line right now with like McLeod and Fogle, and you're sitting there going, oh God, are they going to get like overwhelmed defense? Like what? He's with Evander Kane, not great defensively, but he's with Adam Henrique, who was the Oilers' best faceoff guy last game. I trust that line to maybe take some hard matchups away. So I'm not worried about like some sort of matchup game where Holloway away from Draisaitl makes him a liability or that line a liability. So long answer short, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I'm definitely not touching it to start. I said it just kind of as the game progresses. You mentioned that with Chris Tanev. We'll touch on it in a minute. Kind of like the Oilers to get a little run and gun tonight. I also got the over involved in Bordzy's bankroll tonight, which is kind of the first time I feel confident that we're going to get some goals. Are they going to be power play goals? I have no idea, but a man can dream. And one man who, boy, oh boy, did he have the spotlight on him in the last game. Obviously, it is Darnell Nurse. And boy, oh boy, that game did not start how he wanted. I said he comes an immediate -2. Brett Kulak with a brutal pinch to start the game. That's not Nurse's fault. And then the second one a couple of minutes later, Darnell's ass giveth. Darnell's ass also taketh away in that situation. But I liked what I saw from him, his ability to just lock it down. And I said to you on Pregame, for me with Darnell, if you're mentally struggling and it's not there, the one way to get mentally activated, find a guy, lay him out. Shout out to that drawing right there. You gotta love that. I like the little oops in the sides as well. I imagine he said just that. But Darnell, you need to be physical. And dude, what was he? 12 hits, team high on that night. He had 3 shots. He gets an assist. He's involved in that first goal. And he's the one who took it to the net. He took Ryan Suter, got his stick tied up. Suter then got tied up and hit Jake Ottinger. Darnell was very involved in that game. He was a major part of that game. And I said, he just looked angry, pissed off. I talked about in the media scrum, I would be pissed off too. I showed you the photo and everything there. You don't want to talk about how much you suck. You want to go answer it out there on the ice. And dude, did he do that and then some. So I want to ask you, do you think that that could be a turning point for Darnell Nurse in the series? Because we know he's capable of it. We've seen him do it. We saw him. We had hashtag Nurse for Norris legitimately going in our chats really up until the new year. The All-Star break came. His game started to fall and fall and fall, and it kind of feels like it's been in free fall since there. Am I reading into it too much? It's just one game, but could that be the TSN turning point for Darnell Nurse's playoffs?
Yeah, I think it can. And again, we've seen him play good hockey for stretches. We've seen him play good playoff hockey. Think back to 2 years ago when he was healthy. I know his hip was a problem, and then he got exposed in the Colorado series against a dynamite Colorado team. Cool. And like that was understandable. Right now, again, maybe the worst we've seen him play in a while, but that game, second and third period, he was great. And if I'm Paul Coffey, Mark Stewart, whoever, and you're watching or you're showing him the film, I'm showing him all those moments where he jumped up in the rush, looked incredibly effective, was making plays, not sitting back and worrying about, is he going to give up an odd man or whatever? Who cares? Go out there and do what you're paid to do, and that is push play the other way and be an offensively gifted defenseman in the sense of transporting the puck, getting up in the rush. Like I just love that he was taking chances last game, and part of it too, he got burned in his first 2 shifts. He was dash 2, and he kept going to it, which I liked. I liked that he had that swagger about him to not just cower and be like, you know what, I can't get to dash 3. No, he went out there and said, F it, I'm going to go and get myself back up to even in this hockey game. So it was great.
Live by the sword, die by the sword, buddy. I like his confidence in there, and they paid him $9.25 for a reason, and it's part of that offensive threat and that skating ability and the mobility he brings. You got to lean into it. I like the argument of simple Daryl or leaning into that because I get both sides. It's just kind of that perfect balance for one Darnell Nurse. And you talk about him being an offensive style defenseman. Let's talk about the guy who came into the lineup because Philip Broberg played his first playoff game this postseason. He came in for Vincent Desharnais, who will be watching again tonight from the press box. And, dude, I thought Broberg was totally fine. He played 14-21 time on ice. He had zeros literally across the board in every major stat category. And guess what? That's exactly what I want from my third-pairing defenseman. Frankly, if I got more zeros across the board from Cody Ceci, I might buy a jersey of that guy out there. That's also why I love Brett Kulak so much, as he tends to do that from time to time. But I thought Broberg didn't get too complicated, didn't get crazy. He played to his strengths. He's good mobile, has very fast skating ability. I saw him win some one-on-one races to some pucks in the defensive end. I like that. Didn't try and do too much. Calm, consistent. Exits, entries, whatever you want to say. I really liked what I saw from him, the former first-round pick, and we talked about it. The dude hadn't played in an incredibly long time. I know he's been practicing with the big club, and you get those game day skates where you burn your game day legs, sure, but, brother, I don't think you can. The fact that you throw in a guy who hasn't played in that long in Game 4 of the third round of the Western Conference Finals, down 2-1, A, shows Nobby's balls, but B, shows his belief in Broberg, and Roby deserved it. I love that he's in the lineup again tonight. What'd you think about his debut?
I thought he's exactly what they needed, right? You wanted someone who is going to safely get pucks out. How many of those Dallas goals in the Game 3 collapse, within 20 seconds of them, somebody could have gotten the puck out and they didn't. So put in a guy who's better at Vinny than getting the puck out. You feel like you've been getting burned on the rush sometimes, and Dallas has been flying the zone. Put in a guy who skates a little bit better. And while maybe you lose that physicality, I also thought Broberg defending off the rush, while he isn't physical, he's not going to step up and kill anyone the way Desharnais maybe can. What he's good at is just the stick, right? Puck's coming in. If the guy doesn't have it fully, it's just whack right back to the neutral zone. And I want people to calm down when I say this, because I'm not making a player comparison, but like, it's a little bit of the way like Nick Lidstrom would defend, right? Nick Lidstrom never laid a big hit. He never did anything like that. But what did he do? Whack pucks away with his stick, make the sure play, always in the right spot, thought well. And I see Broberg defends in a similar style. Not to that level. He's a third-pairing defenseman, but still, the point stands. He can defend really well without being that physical, intimidating presence.
Kyle Buxton says, if Broberg comes through, I'll accept it as a success. As Holland's first pick as GM. Love this one from Wreck-It Ty. in Kurlock, we trust. If Bruce Kurlock tells you he can do it, and he was doing great in the AHL, I believe as well. So then the other guy, right, Vinny, he's been out of the lineup, and he'll continue to stay out tonight. And you just mentioned it. I understood the swap. I thought Vinny had a brutal game 3. That was the reason why CC came up to play with Nurse, and inevitably was not a great pairing. But Dallas can skate with the win, man. They can skate with the best of them. They utilize that stretch pass. How many breakaways have they had so far in this series? And he's a guy, Broberg, who can just play at a faster pace. And you mentioned the active stick. I don't hate the Nicholas Lidstrom comparison. We're not going that far, but that's a Swedish guy. Ooh, did Nick Lidstrom have abs? I'm going to need someone to let me know about that. But Vinny's strength, right? It's being a big physical presence. And guys like that don't grow off trees. It just feels so far in the series, you haven't necessarily needed that big guy. Sure, you like it in front of the net and on the penalty kill, the Oilers penalty kill, and we'll touch on it in a minute. Right now, it doesn't seem to matter who goes out there. They're just going to keep delivering. When do you think we'll see Vinny back in here? And could it be a swap for Broberg? Could it be maybe Cody Ceci? Because I don't know. I'm a big Brett Kulak guy. He ain't coming out, and there's only a couple options there. When do you think we'll see Vinny back, and how do you think the team's played without him?
Again, played good. When do you see him back? It's results dependent. If Broberg gets burned, and again, keep in mind, Bill Broberg hasn't played a lot of hockey. If he goes out on the road, gets overmatched, they start throwing out, Wyatt Johnson burning down the wing on him, and he has a bad game, then yeah, it's Vinny in game 6, and you don't think twice. If Cody Ceci goes out tonight and looks terrible, isn't good on the penalty kill, all of that stuff, you don't think twice. You pull him out and you play Vinny Desharnais for a must-win game 6. So again, it's all entirely results dependent. That's what it comes down to at this time of the year. It's the same thing in the forward group. If Sam Carrick plays great, he's staying in. Sorry, Derek Ryan. If Sam Carrick plays bad, he's coming out. Sorry, buddy. Nothing's given, right? It's just, yeah. And someone says maybe we see him in 11-7. I see no reason to do that right now because Broberg can prove to you he can handle those kind of minutes.
For me, I'm a guy, I think if you win, you're in. Now, once again, if Broberg had a full game of zeros, maybe you could make that argument even after a win. But as I said, win's a win. Doesn't matter what is around it. I'm going to roll with that lineup. And there's one interesting note with this series that I don't know if it's ever going to change, but it's the special teams, brother, because both teams have extraordinary firepower, skill all over the lineup. They were both, 6th and 3rd, I believe, in goals per game in the regular season. But both power plays have yet to find the back of the net through 4 games. You could say both are ice cold. But, dude, the PK units, they both be on fire. And I think the Oilers penalty kill unit is, there's not even word for it right now. They've killed off their last 23 consecutive opportunities. They even scored a shorthanded goal in the last one, making them +1 on aggregate in those past 23 kills. It has been insane to watch as you see it here on your screen. Overall, in the playoffs, 93.2% penalty kill. They've killed off 41 of 44. You look at those power play numbers, they've been beautiful. But then you look at this series, both teams, zeros on the power play. So I kind of want to ask Ty, is it both? Let's start with the Oilers. I think it's just the Oilers. PK is playing incredible. They're not giving the Dallas Stars much time and space. The exits are incredible. They're even lugging pucks down the ice. The Matthias Janmark goal, I could have seen 100 times Connor Brown just dump that one down the ice. You go change. But he puts his head down, says, hey, I see a little opportunity. I see a gap right here. Fuck it. I'm going to go take it. And what do you know? He gives a shit burger, I believe was the term, out to Janmark, but he gets enough wood on it. The penalty kill has been incredible. So let's start there. What have you thought about that? And is it Dallas power play maybe not playing great? Because I'm giving the Oilers PK like 85% of the credit.
I'm giving the Oilers PK a ton of credit too, and I know this conversation and the answer I'm about to give is gonna, of course, make us look like homers and whatnot. But it's not like Dallas has had a world beater power play in other series. So I think again, Oilers PK great, but in terms of bounce back potential, like I don't know, they've been cold now for a little bit. Is sort of my point. So I think the Oilers power play is much more likely to bounce back. I think if you were to kind of go like Oilers power play getting hot, Stars power play getting hot, Oilers PK getting cold, I think the least likely of those is their PK getting cold. It's been too long now. They've been playing too well. And I think the most likely is their power play gets hot. That's the beauty of where the Oilers are at in this series right now. There's been 1-goal games, super, super tight hockey. That power play, like come on, it's due, man. It can't go on this long. We're sitting at the roulette table, and I always love making this analogy. We walked up when there were 6 spins of straight red. Now it's 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, it's hitting black right away. And when it hits black, they're getting 2 goals in a game on their power play, and they're winning it.
That's coming tonight, buddy. I'm betting black tonight. It's going to happen tonight. Ty, I'm going to let you go in just a couple minutes. The one big storyline coming into tonight, the Dallas Stars side of things, is the health of Chris Tanev. We saw it. I love the photos people get in the Edmonton International Airport, right between Booster Juice and Chili's. We all know the sweet spot right there. We've all had a couple of airport beers over there, but he was seen wearing a walking boot yesterday. I said it all day today on ONE. I'm not even thinking about it for a second that he might not play. That guy is a playoff warrior, eats pucks for a living. And Patrick, we got some news. I do believe he walked into the building not wearing a boot. I have been told. Tyler, I'm going to say those words you just mouthed. Son of a bitch. I would have liked him to maybe been down a little bit. He does look like he's limping, but once again, this is a playoff warrior guy that he's going to be in that lineup. Now, the real question is what % will he be at? Because, dude, I'd argue they started out this series wanting the Lindell and the Tanev matchup up against the top line. They've gone away from that. It's been more Miro Heiskanen because Tanev simply just couldn't keep up. Nuge beat him one-on-one on a board battle in that overtime game winner. Curious tonight if he's even a little bit less mobile. I like the Edmonton Oilers' chances off the rush. If I see number 3 backing up and I'm 97, I am taking that thing to the hoop every step of the way. How big of an impact is this Tanev with it, whatever he got on his leg? He took a puck, and that's what it is.
Yeah, it's massive, man. Like, he's, again, top tier shutdown defenseman. And this Dallas team is usually successful because of their depth. And coming into the series, the list of players who I think could have truly impacted them by getting hurt and being, not at 100%. Tanev was one of them, is kind of my point. And the minutes against Connor McDavid have not gone well. He's allowed 4 goals in just 31 minutes against the Oilers captain. And the results have been, better when they've gone with that Miro Heiskanen duo, but I'll add it's slim. It's 3 goals instead of 4 in 32 minutes. So I think Connor McDavid is heating up. And honestly, Aaron, I'll give you this answer to end it. Connor McDavid's heating up, and I'm not sure if there's a defenseman that can do a whole heck of a lot about it, whether it's Tanev at 100, Tanev at 50, Heiskanen at 100. I think Connor McDavid is just getting slowly to the point where he's just more and more locked in.
Yep. Let's pull up Pack. Before we let Pack go, you want to pull up the Oilers forward point leaders because one Connor McDavid is now leading this team in playoff scoring, which is a thing of beauty. I believe he has 4 goals. I don't know, Pat will get it whenever he can get it. Oh, you don't have it? Oh, we're good. All right, Ty, I'm going to let you go in just a minute. You got a big night ahead of you. And Bordzy's Ball and Bar Extravaganza, whatever, I forget what we're calling it. I got a big night ahead of me, but the question I'm about to ask before I let you go. Tell me how much the Oilers are going to win by and who's scoring 2 goals tonight. Give it to me.
4-3 Connor McDavid. It is wild to think that he hasn't had a good McDavid-like playoffs. He's had 3 or more points in 30% of their games during this playoff run. It's dumb as shit. He's due to start scoring, AB. He's shooting the puck more as well. 11 shots in his last 2 games. McDavid's scoring. Oilers are winning by 1. It's going to be a tight nail-biter, and they're going to the Cup final on Sunday at home. Let's get it.
I love every bit of it, Tyler. You enjoy your evening tonight because I know I'm going to enjoy mine. See you, buddy.
See you, boys.
Boom, boom, boom. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Tyler Yaremchuk. And don't worry, people. You think it's just going to be the Bordsy show. And, well, I think I would love that as well. Pull up. Let's get into our need-to-know information courtesy of Will Hawk Beef Jerky. And when we come back, you're going to see who's joining me next. Shout out to Will Hawk, though. They are unreal. And they only have the finest tasting meat products that earn that Will Hawk name, made from 100% pure Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, marinated, smoked to savory perfection. Oh, so good. Their jerky gladly fills orders of any size. You can find it in their sausage and other products exclusively out of their Leduc, Spruce Grove, and West Edmonton Mall kiosk locations. He's here, people. Matt Wozniak, who you have been a large, hey, nice. Bag Milk is here as
Bag
well.
Milk is here.
Let's
Can
go.
you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't really hear you in my headphones, but I can still hear you on the other side of here. Oh, there we go. I can hear you now. They're fantastic. How are we doing, folks?
We're doing good, dude.
Nice.
Bordzy's Ball and Bar Night. You ready to get that one going? I keep butchering the name. Bordzy's Ball and Bar Takeover. There it is.
A little bit of was that alliteration? Is that the word I'm looking for there?
Sure is, buddy.
I'm sorry. I'm not.
All superheroes are named alliteration way as well. My son will be named Brady Bordato, Peter Parker, Wade Wilson,
You have a
Scott
son?
Summers. I will.
Oh,
Well, knock on wood. But Waz, we're down here at Greta. Thank you for joining
No
me.
worries.
And it's Friday night, dude. Best of 3, Western Conference Final. My mom is over there. I see her waving at us right now. But, dude, it's May 31st. Best of 3 hockey. Where else would you rather be than Greta tonight?
The game?
Well,
Maybe,
it's in
but
Dallas.
honestly,
Sure,
no.
I'll
Greta
allow
is the
that.
best spot. I got here. I got myself a drink. I got myself a beautiful burger. It tasted wonderful. Greta's got amazing foods, great cold beverage selections. So come on down here if you're not.
Absolutely. Sorry to give the Wilhock. So here's your information tonight. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or as I said, maybe just tinker with it a little bit on that fourth line. We're continuing hashtag in Nobby We Trust. Sam Carrick is expected to enter the lineup on that 4C role. And I'm sorry to say, DR10, Derek Ryan, I believe,
Ryan, baby.
will be watching from the press box. I've loved what I've seen from DR10 throughout these playoffs. And I like the way that Nobby's going to utilize him and Carrick because I think they're similar-ish players. Carrick obviously comes with the physicality, the piss and vinegar, the anger out there. But they both, when out of the lineup, have come back in and brought such good energy. I feel like it's a thing with both of them. You let one play 2 games, you let the next guy play 2 games. They're both very strong on the draws. They're both right-handed shots, which does not grow off trees for this team. Waz, I know you'd like DR in the lineup, but can you kind of subscribe to that theory of they both bring a little bit different but are similar players, and DR at least is a little bit older. You might want to keep him a little bit fresher.
No, I love the idea. It kind of shows you the depth of this Oilers team and how good it is. It's very interchangeable. You can rotate players in and out. And, DR's body, he is a little older. He doesn't have a ton of mileage compared to some players. So bring in Sam Carrick if you need to. Derek Ryan, he's been very serviceable. And when Sam Carrick's been in the lineup, he's done a good job. So I think, DR probably understands, hey, I'm okay with being scratched as long as the team wins.
That's a team guy. That's why Waz is such a fan of DR, because you're our team guy as well. Vinny will keep watching from the press box. Broberg will be in the lineup, and we do expect Brett Kulak to continue to play in that top 4 with one Darnell Nurse. And then, of course, Stuart Skinner, he gets the start. He was great in the last game. He was good in the last game. I will say that to start. 20 of 22. He's got an 887 overall in the playoffs, so those numbers are going up. And we'll take a peek at his series numbers in here because it starts with a 9, people. Ooh. And you got to like that on the Dallas Stars side of things. No lineup changes are expected. Chris Tanv, game time decision, but we just went through and watched the video. He's walking into the arena without a boot on. He still was limping, but was playoff warrior Tanv. There's no way he's missing this game.
Yeah, no, he's only going to miss it if the Stars, management, coaching staff say you cannot play this game. I think he's going to try and play through it. That's playoff hockey. We've all heard the stories of players playing through some gruesome injuries, especially going to the Stanley Cup Finals, especially at this stage of the playoffs. So yeah, if anything, the Oilers just have to take advantage. Wherever he's playing, dump pucks that way. Put a little stress.
Speed,
put a stress on his body. Wear him down a bit. It's not going to be easy for Tanev. He's one of their top defensemen. There's a reason why the Oilers wanted him. I wish he was an Oiler, but right now, I'm kind of happy he's a Dallas Star.
Yeah, absolutely. You can take those weak ankles. You can keep them, buddy. Dallas, though, the Stars, they have scored first in 58.8% of their games. They're 6-4 when scoring first. Because so far in the series, you don't want to score first.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
But there's that. They are 6-2 on the road these playoffs, but they're 4-5 on home ice. It makes no sense. They score 2.7 goals per game at home, but they allow 2.8. Jake Ottinger's numbers, home versus the road, are completely slanted. Makes no sense to me. Maybe they, too, hate the playoffs with the AI, because I think everybody can agree that sucks, and you missed on that one, Dallas. Jake Ottinger, he's obviously going to get the start. He's been good. I expect more of the same, but once again, he's human. The key to getting to that guy is traffic in front, like every other goaltender that has ever existed. He is beatable. Tonight, though, my Sherwood Ford Giants storyline is, in the last game, we got the closest thing we've gotten to a 60-minute performance. We always talk about you're not going to get a full 60. I'd argue we got 52 minutes in game 4, and that is pretty damn close to 60, so I will take it. My storyline, emulate exactly what you did in that game. Dry said it his best after, and I believe it was this morning in an interview. He said, when we're at our best and we're on our A game, no one can compete with us and no one can beat us. And while they didn't have that A game to start the game, They found it 8-9 minutes into it. And after that, dude, it was 5 unanswered. Felt like Dallas couldn't really skate with them. Ottinger looked human yet again. I think you need to pick up right where you left off. You're going to have a very similar lineup and line alignment. Sure, Carrick's in, but how much of a difference can that make? And, dude, if you grab a win tonight, you come back to Edmonton up 3-2 on home ice on a Sunday with the ability to send your team to the Stanley Cup final. I get goosebumps and shake literally just thinking about it, but you got to get a win tonight before you can get there. My storyline, give me the same 52 minutes you gave me last game was. What about you? You got a storyline?
A little bit of the same. I would say if we look at Darnell Nurse, can he translate the same play that he had in Game 4 into Game 5, be a little consistent, just bring that same energy, same hunger and desire to prove the doubters wrong? I really like Darnell's play in Game 4, and after those first 2 goals, it kind of felt like for Darnell, I was like, "What? Is everything just going against me right now? I can't catch a break."
Like you couldn't even make that start up.
Exactly. Like honestly, the hate he's gone. Honestly, I know the media's criticized him, but honestly, the fan base is really hard on him. I'm the guy who posts everything on social media. I see the comments. Everybody loves to shit on Darnell Nurse on Twitter or Instagram, you name it. And it's like, we all know he's not going to be live up to that contract value. Fuck the contract right now.
He's an Oiler. He wears a letter. Support him.
The way I viewed him, if you're going to cheer for the Edmonton Oilers, cheer for Darnell Nurse.
It's fact. Dude, they love him in the room.
Yes.
He's beloved. I just said to Tyler there that I hope, trying to speak it into existence here, but that Game 4 could be a TSN turning point. The point I made is, well, dude, he had 12 hits in that game. And my thing is, if you're not playing well and you're struggling mentally, go out there and lay someone the fuck out at center
That's
ice.
all you need to do.
And you will get in that game. Also,
and
much easier said than done.
I'll say, if you really want to win back Oilers fans, just go lay out a guy. We love big hits. We love our grindy players. We just lay a guy out. Simple as that.
I'm a simple hockey fan, baby. Let's get into the Edmonton lineup report. Brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giant, home of the Giant Advantage and Dealer Rater's Alberta Ford Store of the Year award for customer satisfaction. They've got a giant selection of new and used vehicles because it's the best place to find, finance, and service a Ford vehicle in Sherwood Park. There you'll find a giant deal and a giant array of services and parts too. Whether you prefer shopping online or in store, they tailor the shopping experience to you from people who really care. Sherwood Ford, the giant for a reason. All right, take a look at it here on your screen. This is the projected roster tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Not many changes, just the one on the fourth line, top line. Nuge, McD, Hyman, never touched that. Second line, Ryan McLeod, Leon, and the Worm, Corey Perry. And he was worming in that last game. Feels like maybe the first time since the Brock Besser weird stick shaft thing that he did that we've seen the Worm. The third line, Evander Kane, Adam Henrique, and Dylan Holloway. And then your fourth line, Janmark, Sam Carrick is in for Derek Ryan. And Connor Brown, Mr. playing the best hockey of the entire season right now, which, once again, isn't saying a ton, but he's playing great right now. Your D pairings, they stay the same. Ekholm with Bush, Nurse with Kulak, and Philip Broberg with Coty Ceci. So we mentioned Connor Brown, how well he has played lately. Coming into this series, dude, the reason why I think the Stars were picked, I'd say 85% of people picking series, it was because of the Stars' depth. And they can roll 3 or 4 lines. Their fourth line gets 14 minutes a night because they trust them. But get this, through 4 games, that has not been the case. Dallas has 5 forwards with goals and 9 with at least 1 point. Edmonton has 7 forwards with a goal, 1 player only with 1 point, 5 guys with 2+ points. The point being, you've seen Janmark score. You've seen Rico score. You've seen Brownie score. You've seen McLeod has now scored. You've seen Nuge score goals. No, granted, he's a top-line guy, but the production is coming from the depth, which it's been crazy because earlier this playoffs, all we had was power play love, power play merchants. You're going to score on the power play, and you couldn't get any depth scoring. Right now, completely swapped power play while they're not getting many opportunities, only 0 for 6 in this series so far. They've been getting it done 5v5, and they've been getting it done without 97 or 29 on the ice. What can you say, dude? Because, you're always going to get that top-line production. Leon will always be in his office on the power play. You will do that, but with the power play being goalless, without that depth scoring, we are not in this series at all right now. It's been massive. It's been integral, and something I've been arguing this is the deepest forward group we've ever had in the McDry era. Right now, they are playing like they're the deepest group we've ever had.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You look back to the regular season, it's not like the team was being carried by the power play like last year. We had that record-setting power play. We were scoring at 5-on-5. We're getting production from the back end. Bouchard, Ekholm, Nurse. That's something I'd like to see from Darnell Nurse is maybe get a little bit more goals in here, buddy, because we know you can do it. We've seen you score in big games. I don't know. I'm loving to see it. It's nice to see McLeod go on the board, get his confidence up. Dylan Holloway in round 2 against Vancouver, he stepped up a bit. Matthias Janmark. Only man that I'd like to see score now is Derek Ryan, but unfortunately on line. That's okay. Sam Carrick, why not get on the board? Connor Brown, turnaround. What a turnaround. You know, how far he get to before scoring a goal? What was the map?
Vermilion. He made it all the way to
Vermilion. Now he's scoring the playoffs.
200 kilometers.
Being a great role player. It just shows the testament of this team, how hungry they are. They're so just focused on the end game and winning. It's great to see. Seeing Matthias Janmark score, that's a guy I've always kind of, I was kind of like, well, with Tyler, this guy's kind of mid, but he's proven me wrong.
Nice. The term mid. Can you pull it back to the forward points there? I just want to look at that, Pat. When you look at that, so you get your top 4 guys, Connor, Leon, Nuge, Hyman, sure, you know that. But look at the rest. 4 from Kane, 3 from Holloway, 2 Janmark, 1 Brown, 2 Rico, and he's only played 8 games. You get a goal from Warren Fogle. That one's an empty netter. But then you saw the D production. This is just a thing of beauty right now from the squad. But, dude, give me a power play and give me a power play goal for the love of God. I've said it all series long. I don't expect this to change anytime. They were the least or one of the least penalized teams during the regular season for a reason that is completely carried over. You're not seeing any of the after the whistles nonsense kind of so far in the series, but that's the point I want to make. Game 4. The Oilers brought the physicality, dude. It was there. You saw angry Edmonton Oilers out there. Darnell Nurse led the way with hits, but the Oilers out-hit the Stars 43-21. They more than doubled it, and you could feel it. That was a part of the game, and you could feel the Dallas Stars wanted no part of that. You mentioned through 3 games, it just hasn't been there. Do you think that could have maybe been something the Oilers saw that got them? You're down 2, but I thought the physicality got them and brought them back into the game. I said I wanted things to get uglier. I wanted Darnell to line dudes up. I always argue that as the series moves along, it's going to get angrier. But the more you get to game 5, 6, 7, you're going to pull it back because you can't be taking dumb penalties out there. Do you think the Oilers will continue to lean in to the physicality? It's another weird realm. You take Vinny out of the lineup, you think he's going to be your leader in hits. You take him out, the team all of a sudden puts up 43, and forecheck and laying the body was a big part of their game in the last one. Does that continue tonight?
I think it's been a common theme in these playoffs where if you lead the game in hits, you do end up actually winning the game. I looked through that Vancouver series, and whenever Vancouver was leading hits, they would win. Whenever Edmonton started leading in hits, we would win. And the same was the case in game 4. The Oilers just were crushing the Dallas Stars, and that's what we need to do. We have to lay the body. They're a skilled team. They're a team that can move the puck well, possess it well, but if you start laying the body in them, wearing them down, they start to struggle, and we saw that in game 4.
Absolutely. Another thing, what'd you think of the move? You bring Broberg in. What was your thought to take out Vinny for Broberg? I got it because it's all about speed and space against the Stars. They do the stretch pass. Vinny, you're just not a strong skater. I'll see you in the Stanley Cup Finals. But right now, it might be leaning a little bit more towards Philip Broberg's game. But then the other switch that came with that, Darnell Nurse played with Brett Kulak. They've both been left side guys for what? The last 2-3 years. Never really played together. While Kulak, you know him, I love him. He's a jack of all trades, master of none, maybe, as you would say. He switches sides, plays on the right side, has the worst pinch you could ever have to start that hockey game, and you go, holy shit, he's the one making mistakes. It's not Daryl. But the rest of the game, I thought they locked it down together. They played 14-48, 1-2 was the goal differential. They had 6-5 scoring chances. What'd you think of that move? And I got it was to insulate Philip Broberg. You're putting him with Cody Ceci. What'd you think of that D-alignment in the last game?
I thought it was a smart move, bringing Broberg, someone who can move the puck a little bit more efficiently. Exactly, he can skate. What was his time on ice that
14,
game? See, that's good. I think
zeros across the board.
That's exactly kind of where you want him. because under Woodcroft, he'd probably be playing 5 minutes, 6 minutes. No offense, Woody. Whenever we've had young players in the playoffs, they tend to play in under 7 minutes. So to see Broberg get a good game under his belt is a positive sign. He's progressing well. He's confident and he wants to play. He's hungry. So if you give a kid like him his opportunity, he's going to take it. We've seen that with Dylan Holloway in these playoffs, where you give him some ice time, you give him some opportunity, he's going to play well. And we're seeing that with Broberg.
Give him a leash.
Exactly. And if he's not playing well, you're going to pull it back. That's fine. But Broberg, I think he wants to prove the coaching staff that he deserves to be playing in this lineup.
I think he's ready. Bruce Gerlach told us he was ready, and he looked like in that game. Also, look at the TV right now. Is that the TV, or is Connor Brown's hair actually that red?
That and his playoff beard is unreal.
It looks like an older Patrick Puff out there, my buddy.
Wow.
Bing, boo, 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 boo.
Shout out Luke Gazdick as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out Luke Gazdick. Let's move now to starting goaltender report, brought to you by Sherrick Power Sports and Marine, your one-stop shop for everything you need, from fishing rods and reels, tackle and boat accessories, to motorcycle gear, water sports accessories, e-bikes. You could think of a toy, they got it in there. They're the exclusive dealer of everything Yamaha as well in the heart of Sherwood Park. So, Pat, first, can you pull up the goaltenders' playoff numbers in general throughout these playoffs so far? Because you look at these bad boys, they get compared. Obviously, Jake Onger has the better numbers. Stuart Skinner, 887. That actually went up after the last game. But, Pat, I don't like looking at those numbers. So can you give me the in-series numbers right now? Because, boom, Stuart Skinner, there it is. We ask for it all the time. I just want a save percentage that starts with a 9. Well, damn it, check your screen right there. That starts with a 9, a 234 goals against. Well, Jake Onger, 2.54, 912. Absolutely incredible. But we thought coming into this, the margin was going to be way split. Yep. Jake Onger is the way better goaltender. That's why people picked him. Waz, right now, look at those numbers. Not much of a difference, brother.
No, which is awesome to see. Stuart Skinner also probably playing with some confidence. He's been steady. I know he's let in some weird, strange goals, especially I think it was game 3, the Robertson goal, kind of around that smart play by Robertson. Skinner should have had that. We're moving on. Skinner played great in game 4, aside from those 2 goals. But then again, it's the way I viewed it. I don't like blaming the goalie too much. I also don't like blaming one individual if a goal happens. I tend to look at every player on the ice, where they were, what they were doing, what led up to that goal. Not everything's always on the goalie, but Stuart Skinner, he is trying to play his damn best hockey, and he looks like a goaltender that wants to take his team to the Stanley Cup final.
You're damn right, buddy. You're damn right. Also looking right now, Chris Tanev is on the ice. Looks like he's skating.
Hey, you know what? That doesn't mean anything. I once saw Sam Gagne take warm-up, and he didn't play.
Yep. Absolutely.
So
absolutely. We'll keep it locked right here. Everybody let me know. We got Sportsnet right here as well with a little Hockey Central. On the other side, we just talked about the goaltenders. So let's move here to the Dallas Stars lineup report, brought to you by Greta Baryag, baby. It's a big night downtown here. It's Friday night, and it's Bordzy's Ball and Bar Takeover, baby. We're going to be covering bills tonight. I got gift cards. I got merch. I got, I think, the 4 main booths. Yep, there's more of my boys right there. They're all taken up tonight. Tonight's going to be lit, Waz. There's no other way to put this.
I know this is obvious, but I have to mention it. Your brother looks exactly like you. It's just like the resemblance is there, because sometimes with siblings, you can tell, like, whoa, you guys don't look similar. Like, I don't know. My buddy Liam, he's a ginger, and his sister's not a ginger. They don't look the same, so I don't know. It's very interesting. But so shout out to your brother and your mom.
Me and my brother. Yeah, if you guys know him from the After Dark chat, Matt Bordato. We look like absolute twins. We kind of talk the same. He's like me with like a couple extra poundage on him. I've always wanted him to start the show in my chair and see if anyone would actually notice. I think you might, but hey, who knows? Pull it up here, Pat. Sorry, I've been messing with you. The Dallas Stars projected lineup this evening. Top line, Jason Robertson back with his running mate, Rupe Hintz and Tyler Seguin. Second line of Mason Marchment, Matt Duchesne, and Joe Pavelski. Then it's Jamie Benn with Wyatt Johnston and Logan Stankoven. Evgeny Dadanov, my boy, Sam Steele with Radek Faksa. And then on the D-core, it's Lindell with Heiskanen, Harley with Tanev, Ryan Suter with Alex Petrovic. So we look right now, I'm fully expecting that Chris Tanev is going to play in this game. But one thing, dude, with this team, this Dallas Stars team, that makes no sense. Why are they so good on the road and they're not good at home? It makes no sense. Is that veteran leadership? What is that? Is that bad fans?
Nah, it honestly might come down to veteran leadership. The fact they have so many players with hundreds, thousands of games under their belt. What happened here?
That's home.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
away.
I was looking at the chat there. Very interesting. Very weird. So, yeah, I think it just comes down to veteran leadership. These players who've kind of played for 10-plus years. Pavelski, Ben, who else am I missing here? Ryan Suter, Sagan. These guys are seasoned veterans. They know how to get it done. And I don't know. It's sometimes in the playoffs, teams have strange records. They do well in certain areas. And for whatever reason, the Dallas Stars tend to play better on the road, except for in Game 4 in Rogers Place. They were dog water, as the kids would say.
Yep, dog water. They was mid. Kyle
Yes.
Buxton's in here. Says, tell Matt I say hi. Don't worry, Matt's in here, and he can tell you himself.
I am Matt.
He says, hi, Kyle. Now, you can honestly pass my
Yeah.
brother as well. One interesting note, you saw Rupe Hintz since he's been back in. Looks like he's given Jason Robertson new life out there. He mentioned after game 3, he saw the first puck go in, and he said, fuck it, I'm shooting every puck that comes on my stick from here on out. I thought he's done a good job. Get this off the screen. I can't get that off.
There you go.
Yeah, it'll get there eventually. Thoughts just in general. I kind of forgot what I was just about to ask you. What was
Jason
I saying?
Robertson?
On Jason Robertson and him getting new life. These guys, Sagan stays on that top line and he takes all the draws because Hintz has been dealing with a hand injury, a wrist injury. Sagan still has it in there, but Jason Demers said it best. He said, Jason Robertson is soft as a marshmallow, and you can't be letting that guy scoring goals around the net. You need to push him around, play him physically, get him off his game. That's not a guy that enjoys feeling contact, especially from guys like Darnell Nurse or Matthias Ekholm. Overall, any notes, who's your player to watch for the Dallas Stars tonight? I'll ask you that.
Player to watch. That's a good question. Let's go with Heiskanen. But also, I got to give it to Jason Robertson. He's a sneaky good player. Not sneaky. He's a damn good player. There's a reason why I think maybe he was last year. He was possibly in the Hart conversation. He was one of the key factors in the Dallas Stars' success. He's a fun player to watch. Yes, he is soft, but you got to take advantage of it. Maybe get Evander Kane just ram him through the glass.
Run him, brother.
I don't know, man.
Get off the train tracks, baby. But all right, it's almost time here. I got to end this out a little quicker. I got to get on the mic here.
Fair enough.
Get these people hyped. So let's get into it. Betway 19+. Please play responsibly. It's time for BORDZY's bankroll, baby, because with Betway, you can get a free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. All you got to do, place a bet. No minimum amount is required. And if that bet loses, you will get a refund up to $200. You can then use that money to bet on your favorite sports. How do I do this, you ask? You create a new account. You scan the QR code that will be on your screen in a moment. Redeem your bonus. But I'm sorry, Ontario folk, this offer is only available outside of Ontario. Berta boys, Sass boys, BC boys, stand up. So tonight, it's a big one.
Yes.
I've taken power play stuff off of BORDZY's bankroll because it just hasn't been happening. Well, I brought it back tonight. So, Pat, hit it for me. Let's take a look here at the options. If you're new here, Pat will make a poll, and we will decide where BORDZY's money goes. First option, over 5.5 goals and 97 to get 1+ points. Just a nice even plus 110. Not getting crazy. There's enough on the line right here tonight that I don't need to bet with my heart. The second one, they have to score a power play goal eventually, damn it. And Bouchard, you know that Bouch bomb. He's the quarterback of the power play. I like him to get a power play point at plus 140. And then you've got Leon Draisaitl anytime goal plus 125. That is way too juiced up to be next to number 29's name.
True, actually.
The moment I saw that, I went, well, I don't make the rules, buddy. I just follow laws. When you look at these three bets here, which one do you like the most?
I think the safest bet is probably the over 5.5 and the 97 point. That's probably going to hit. Then I'd swap Leon with the power play point. I think that's more likely to happen for sure.
The Leon one?
Oh, no, I think
Or
Leon, anytime goal, for sure. For whatever reason, every time I put money down on a power play point, it just never happens. Or just I don't know what it is. So
this series, it has been happening.
Yes,
I can guarantee you that. Over 6 on the power play through 4 games. Pat, I don't have the poll up in front of me. What are we looking at right now?
Number 29, anytime goal at 40% currently, dropping slightly to the over 5.5, 97. Oh, they're going back and forth now. It's 40% each.
It's a boxing match, baby. It's a left. It's a right. It's a jab. It's a hook. I like every bit of it. And I'll be honest, I'm going to bet all three of them. Responsibly, of course, 19+. Hey. Please play responsibly.
Exactly. Listen to BORDZY.
That's what
Always
we do
listen
here.
to BORDZY.
All right, I got to let the people go in just a minute. We'll have Oilersnation After Dark later tonight, and I got a bag of milk live and in the flesh over
nice.
there. Live. You can see him.
Yeah.
You can see him. That's the one. That's the legend over there of BM. My brothers want to meet him. Finally.
Everybody wants to beat
They
DM.
can put a face to a name. Before we go, though, score prediction, anytime goal scorer. And Pat, I'm going to ask you too.
Let's go 4-3 Oilers. Going to be a close game. Anytime goal scorer, Darnell Nurse.
Fuck yeah. What about you, Pat?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 4-3 Edmonton, and I think Hyman likes to score big goals moments like this.
Yes, this is true.
I'm going to say 4-3. We all going 4-3s. A lot of that. They'll get the over 5.5. And we'll just go with the bet. Leon Draisaitl, anytime goal scorer. You know he's burying tonight, people. I love you all. I know a number of you are actually here at the bar, so I can't wait to get out, talk to you, give you some free merch, give you some free stuff. Maybe cover your bar tab tonight, baby. Can you believe they put me in charge of that?
They should.
I get to pick.
No,
who's
it's good.
gonna-
You're the right man for the job.
It's unbelievable. If there's one thing I know how to do, I think it's know how to party.
So you know how to have a good
I
time.
know how to have a good time.
Mhm.
Absolutely. You got to know your role here at this company, and I got the best role out of them all. Shout out to our sponsors, Sherwood Ford the Giant, Sherwood Power Sports Marine, Greta Bar Yegg, Willock Beef Jerky, and I don't got time for the ad read, but Boston Pizza, I absolutely adore you. I love you so much. If you want a little bit of a quieter vibe, nice dab.
Damn on them
You
haters.
don't want to come down to Greta. It's Friday night. I totally understand. It's going to get crazy here. Go down to BP's, get a fishbowl. It's fishbowl all weekend, right? I believe it's Fridays and Saturdays. Get some cactus cuts and enjoy the Edmonton Oilers. Kick your feet up. No better place to do that than Boston Pizza. But it's Friday night, people. It's game day at
Exactly.
Greta, baby.
Simple
It's
as
game
that.
day
Game
at
5.
Greta. I love you all. I'll catch you right here after the game. Hopefully, breaking down an Edmonton Oilers W. Catch you later, everybody. See you on the flip side.